final complications getting. If you can hear me, put up a message in the chat, cause I'm experiencing, I guess, some technical difficulty with this particular live stream. It's straight spinwheeling on me, so you gotta put up something to let me know that you're getting this. If you hear me loud and clear, maybe that's just a discouragement. Matter of fact, let me just go ahead and speak on what I need to speak on. If it says it needs to reconnect, and I'll do what I need to do and start another live stream. But okay, this one is on the boyfriend pimp. And with that being said, I know it's a lot of young players and females that that participate within the game, or just they're cheerleading from the sidelines. This is one movie that I think people need to actually check out because I watched it as a kid coming up, and how they market it to the public is it comes off as a cartoony type of movie, but you know me diving into it, later in later on years, I got to see it in a different light. And the light of me seeing it is, kind of what's going on today. That's why I figured I like to make essentially a film analysis on this particular movie. It's an unvisited movie by a lot of brothers and sisters, and everybody else, of different ethnic backgrounds, may not even see this movie. This movie came out back in 1978. Matter of fact, it stars Mark Hamill, who was Luke Skywalker of Star Wars. But how the movie starts off is like, he's just a high school kid about to graduate high school, and he's taking shop. That's when they actually had shop in class. Or in classes in schools where you can take a certain trade up. He was really into cars, but the thing that caught me about this car, usually people associate a player driving a Cadillac, especially coming out of the 70s. Okay, if he's driving a Cadillac and is highly dressed, then that makes you think, well, that must mean he's some type of player. But to me, this is almost like the anti-player. It's the total opposite. Matter of fact, it's like gentrification. It could be the hood, but over the years, certain people don't moved into the hood and changed things around. So people that probably been gone away, are experiencing something totally different than what it usually be. But let me dive into this. So instead of them using in this particular movie, instead of them using a Cadillac, they use a Corvette. Back in them times, brothers wasn't really driving Corvettes like that. I mean, you had some, but this one was dressed like no other Corvette. It wasn't a plain Jane Corvette. It had gold flakes all over it. It had chrome and gold all highlighted through the whole body work of the car. So almost in a way you could think of like a lowrider of the other day, but this is a Corvette. Corvette's top of the line. It had side pipes and everything. Matter of fact, another thing that kind of caught my eye in this movie when they re-put this Corvette back together, because essentially the class they found the Corvette at a junkyard, and for school they had to pick a car that they were going to restore, for their school project. So they picked this Stingray, and when they put it back together, instead of the drive, the steering wheel being on the left side, they put it on the right side. So that'll come into play later on when I'm speaking on this movie. But so they put this car together and it's highly dressed, and they accomplish making it happen. So they go out for they take it out for a drive. They cruise it. On cruise night when it was used to be cruise nights throughout the city. Everybody got all their toys out and they're riding it. They get down to the last person that he's kind of a little goofy, and to me it plays into the plan of what happens. it gets into his hands, and I guess the shop teacher is like, hey, go out and get some some drinks or some refreshments and things for all the classmates before we wrap this up. So when he sends them on a mission to go do that, mysteriously the car comes up missing. And once it comes up missing, you know, Mark Hamill, I forget his name in the movie, but Mark Hamill in the movie, who helps, orchestrate putting this whole thing together, he's highly upset about it. So, he's on a mission from there, like, no, I gotta find this car, this, I put my all into it, he was having sleepless nights, you know, basically fantasizing and dreaming about this car, what type of moves he can make in this vehicle, putting together. He really wasn't focused on, what everybody else in high school was focused on. It's like his drive was a little bit different. So to me that plays into, you know, how I want to say the anti-player. They're not really focusing in on him, trying to, get with females and trying to break them or anything. It's just like his drive is unlike any other. So essentially, he's just a high school student. He's working at a gas station. He's staying with his mom. He ain't got no daddy in the picture. You know, and he figures, when he's working at the gas station, he gets, a tip from, someone that comes, through the gas station. Like, yeah, I seen this car that you're posting all these pictures of. I done seen it down in Vegas. That sparks, oh, I gotta go to Vegas to go, get this car, so that's how it puts him in a place where, everything happens, Sin City. So, he's essentially, because he ain't got riches, so essentially he's hitchhiking his way from Cali into Vegas, to try to hunt down this car that he put together. So he gets a ride from some essays and lowriders, and they're riding a little bit too slow for his pace. He really wants to get there, so he gets he gets out of their cars, and they're all in nice lowriders and they're cruising and everything. But essentially, he's getting a taste of different life. Like, okay, they're dressing their cars kind of like how I dress my Corvette, but they're dressing old school Rivieras and Lincoln Mark threes and things like that. Real nice, something of my taste, but a little bit different. So he's getting a touch of different style and class from that particular scene. So he continues walking down this long desert road to head towards his destination, and he sees this van. They don't really, I mean, yeah, we got vans now that are dressed up on 22s and got TVs in them and things like that, and humps and all that. But this is a van from back in the day, what they used to call a shaggin' wagon. So it got nice rallies on it, Kragers, and it got a little side window in it, and pearl paint with, and it's highly dressed. And it pulls over and he jumps in. It's a female. She got a wig on, and she, at that particular, you figure 78. She's having all the latest fashion. That catch someone's eye back in 78. The van got a water bed in the back. It got nice pillars in it. I mean, it's really dressed, crush velvet carpet and everything in it. So it's just real nice. And it's basically he's blowing his mind because he ain't seen a female, having a van that's kind of powerful at that particular time. Because you figure that van was probably like maybe 75, 70, 77 or something. So it's fairly new, and she's young herself, young as him, probably a little bit older than him, probably a couple years older than him. It seemed like she's having money. So, he's like, yeah, I lost my Corvette. I'm on a hunt for it. I've been put up on, it being in Vegas, and this is why I need to get to that town. And she's like, well, I need to get to this town too, and she's, inquiring to him, like, how do you think I look, and things like that. And he's like, well, you look cool, but see, he's not so much keyed in on her. He's more keyed in, man, I got to get to this town to, find my Corvette. So essentially, she's going to town to go home. But he's not picking up on that because he's so green to, even, encountering a female, of her caliber. But like I said, she's green. She's just now stepping out. It's like she done broke away from her little small town from, wherever, she came from out of Cali where, he was coming out of. And she wants to essentially break into the big leagues, but essentially she don't got no man or nothing like that on her side. So essentially, it's like she's almost gravitating to him. Like, well, you seem kind of cool. You seem like you're moldable. You seem like you won't go hard on me. She's kind of, feeling him out. Like, if you was to, break bread, how much would you break bread on me? She wants to, get an idea in her head. What it'll be like for, I guess, when she, gets out in Vegas and start meeting tricks and things like that. Uh, how it'll be. And he's so green, like, oh, I'll give you, he said something crazy amount. And with him saying that, she got heated, pulled her van over, and essentially kicked him out. Like, I ain't feeling what you saying. And she still made traction to the town. Well, he was almost there, so he's walking through the town, and he's going to the different places, I guess, where the person put him up on. Like, yeah, I seen it over in this casino. It's on one of them turntables, for, people to win the car. And he goes in the casino, ain't in there. So, he's kind of discouraged for a little bit. And when you see this movie, if you actually, I don't know, you should be able to stream it. If not, there's probably still some copies on DVD. I get the hard copy because, a lot of times these streaming services for them old movies, they tend not to play, like they should. But anyways, he's kind of discouraged, so he starts, moving out throughout the town, and essentially, I guess while he's there, he wants to, he got to, have some money because he's in the town. He's like, I'm gonna stay here essentially until I find, this car. So essentially, he's putting down stakes in the town until he comes up with, finding his, tricked out vet. So, he does what he did in Cali. He starts working at a gas station. Dudes running down, the schemes, how they run in their town to, get dough. He's like, man, we're doing this. Someone come in, and they just need this. You're gonna try to sell them on some other stuff that they don't need, so it could put some more money in our pocket. And he's kind of like, man, essentially where I come from, we ain't moving like that. But he's in a new town. He got to, adapt to, the situation he's in. So he starts fumbling at that. Essentially, he calls the dude that, is trying to, rape, when I say rape, pillage the pockets of, young mothers that's coming in with, car, not so much car issues, but, he wants him to project car issues on them people that are, fresh in the town to, try to peel some bread from their pocket. But essentially he fumbled and ended up costing him, the shop owner, more money because, essentially he bumped into some thieves that came in and stole a whole bunch of stuff out the shop. So essentially, you might as well say he lost his gig halfway from that. But anyways, he ended up, I guess sleeping at the joint because he ain't had no place to, stay at. So he's sleeping at the gas station, and lo and behold, he sees that van, that custom pearl white van in the back. And I guess, old girl, she, she's trying to, she ain't got no place. She got her van. She's just, washing, doing the horse bath at the little, gas station, little restroom. And, that's how he bumps into her again. And, she's kind of hot for a little second. But then what it turned out to be, I'm kind of speeding past. I want to say she was back there with a trick or something like that. And, he was trying to get rough with her. And, he intervened on it and essentially kind of rescued her from the whole situation. And that's how they kind of got back into fold of being cool. But what I'm saying is, like I said, they're trying to make him the anti-P. When I say the anti-P, the boyfriend pimp, because he's green. He's not, going after her and and everything is almost like he's put in these situations that keep putting him in vicinity with her, and they're both essentially searching for something. He's searching for the vet, she's searching, to essentially be seen, and hopefully someone she can be down with. But he's not thinking like that, and she's thinking like that, but she's probably feeling that he's too green. So essentially, after he did the rescue mode, she showed some favoritism to him, and gave him a piece of it. So once he got some, it's like he started feeling a little different ways. Like that's why I said the boyfriend pimp, because he's like, okay, she's really feeling me. She's digging me. She got a nice, vehicle. They start making tracks again. Once it turns the next day, and essentially they he gets a glimpse of seeing this car. So he got her doing a mad dash, trying to chase after his car when they in a van, and that's a vet. Vets outrun a van all day. But anyway, he jumps out. He's doing a mad dash, trying to find this joint, and he ends up finding where they got it housed at, and essentially where it's housed at is their professional car thieves. They got a whole warehouse full of joints that that they're popping the vents off, and switching them out and switching out the columns and things like that. And essentially that's what they were gonna do to his joint. So he's going in there like, this is my car, and these are essentially gangsters. So they put him through the ringer, for trying to just blatantly come in here like, yeah, this is mine out of Cali, and you got my stuff. No, they send him through hell. So essentially he had to I guess recover after that. She caught back up with him. She did the mended to him because he was kind of beat up and everything. And I guess he had to come up with a more devised plan. But while he was doing this, he was making calls back to the teacher because say the teacher's like, yeah, I done came by your mother's house. You ain't been around here. Where you at? And he's like, oh, I done tracked down the vet and everything. And the teacher, he's looking kind of concerned. He's seeming concerned, like, why is he really on this? Like, I mean, he done found it and everything. Like, the kind of concern, like, he's digging too deep in this, essentially because the teacher has something to do with, it coming up missing in Cali, which essentially got him on this mission anyways. So essentially, he's trying to discourage him. Oh, forget about that. We could build something else. You got talents and all like this. He's trying to discourage him. It's like, no, this is my work of art. I put my blood, sweat, and tears into this, and I'm this close. I ain't stopping. So essentially, she ends up getting a gig because she can't really get the lady of the night situation down packed. So she's working at fast food and doing things that I guess some people would look down at or wouldn't think of it as glamorous, but it's real life. So they're showing her work at fast food. He's like, you working here? What you doing working here? I thought you was gonna be doing all this. And, she's like, it ain't so sweet like how I thought it would be. To me, like I said, it's if you like the interpretation of the life, if you ever tried making any type of steps towards that life, watching that movie, you'll understand, like, man, this is really breaking it down without breaking it down. They put it in a cartoon way to essentially hide the information in it being cartoony. You most people will fly over their head, oh, this is, it's all make believe and all this, but in a lot of ways it's ringing true, but in other ways is kind of making that cartoon spill on it, is making people feel like, oh, people don't run into this, or this can't happen because they put that cartoon spill on it. But if you read between the lines of it, the movie's about a boyfriend pimp, because essentially she put him in the game. Essentially they came in and came to an alliance, like, we're gonna do this, and we're gonna start getting money, and you're gonna be in um finer things and things like that. But it was more like a boyfriend mode, because essentially this is what happened. The teacher came to him and said, okay, I'm gonna break it down to you. The dude that you went to try to get the car back, he was one of my students. And with that being said, he was just as talented as you. But he got a little big out here, and he gives me kickdowns for once the class makes some car, we do the scheme where it gets stolen, and we get a kickback once he sells it down here and flips it and everything. And essentially, you're good at what you do. I want you to be a part of this. You can start making money with him. I'll reintroduce you. You started off on the wrong foot and reintroduce you. So essentially, he got a job. It wasn't like he was, you know, being a P. He just had a female that was in the game. So essentially, he started treating her real nice. Oh, I'm gonna start buying you all these nice things. But in the back of his mind, he's like, no, I'm gonna get my car. He's like, I'll do this for the time being. So he was getting bread, and while he was getting in close and seeing how they ran their operations, he got in, and one night he just said, hey, I'm about to, I guess he arrived at the mindset, I'm taking this joint. And he took it. But it wasn't so easy. These were they were car thieves, but they was gangsters too. So they shooting at him. He just shoot out there. He's run away with the car. Essentially, he's taking the car and trying to run all the way back to Cali with it to, I guess, do the right thing and bring it back to the school because essentially it was the school's property. He's the one that just put it together. But the thing is, it scenes where both him and her are running away with the car trying to get back, and that particular thumbnail I put up there with him, Mark Hamill, and I want to say her name is Annie Potts. She's on what looked like to be on the driver's side, but like I said, that steering column was put on the passenger side. So he was the driver. Oh, what's up, Lisa Sanchez? He was the driver, but he was on the passenger side. And when you associate the passenger side, you're not driving that boss, whatever boss whip. Usually the passenger side for a powerful car like that will be reserved for the female. But she was on the driver's side. So essentially it's showing like she's the one driving. He's just the passenger side. Even though he's driving, he's still on the passenger side. So essentially it's showing that she's in the control, even though he got the wheel and the foot pedals and things like that. They're showing he's essentially the boyfriend. He's not really in control. They want to make it seem like he is, but he's not. She's the one essentially pulling his strings to, how he's operating and acting. So essentially, this is how it goes. He has this way where they have they're playing chicken and dude loses and he flips his joint and then they roll back and they get back to the school and essentially he's like, what are you gonna do? You're not gonna try to you weren't good at essentially hoeing, so what are you gonna do? And I guess so I'm gonna try something different, and it shows her walking off, and then it shows him just giving the car back, and like, well, I didn't I did the right thing. I brought the car back to the school, and they said it was never gonna be able to be found. He does that, and essentially they go off into the sunset. I guess you think about it being square, because she ain't essentially hoeing, and he's got enough skills to, I guess, be the mechanic or body man or whatever, and I guess they paint it as happily ever after. We went through all this drama of unnecessary to essentially meet one another and live a square life fully instead of like I said, you watch all the middle part, and she was trying to hoe, and he was green to it, but then he started getting with it, but then he really had another agenda of trying to get his vet, you know. But that's how I look at it. If you think about it, if you change that for a Cadillac that was dressed up, and you change that for a brother, and you change that for a sister at the current time in the 70s, this would have been a all day pimp movie. Because they see brothers and sisters, you automatically typecast. This is what you are. When it's other races, other ethnicities, oh, you're playing a part. That's the difference. That's why they can, you know, get away with that movie Corvette Summer because it's like, oh, they were just playing a part. It's totally cartoony. But if it was brothers in that, and like I said, they changed that to be a Cadillac instead of a dressed up Corvette, it'd have been a totally different movie. So you got to look at it from that perspective. Okay, if this was a brother, if this was a sister, if this was a Cadillac, this is how you'll see this movie as being different. So they're hiding information, but like I said, they're trying to champion it being boyfriend girlfriend uh, uh, situation of the gang. Yeah, I do live call-ins. Do you want to call in? Matter of fact, you could drop your number, and if you want to expand upon this particular movie, if you've seen it, whatever, you want to talk about it, any particular areas in it, we could do that. Like I said, how I do it, you drop your number, I hit your line, and you could join in on this particular live stream. Yeah, Cool Dread TV. Yeah, about the passenger side. Like I said, you got to look at it like that. Matter of fact, Corvette Summer. Look, you Google it, Wikipedia it, IMDb it. You'll see pictures with. That's why they put that they want a lesson in your eyes of what it is. So that's why they put the steering column on the passenger side, so it seems more harmless. Like, well, she's in the driver's seat. Well, actually, you're showing like she's in the driver's seat, but actually, he's the one, orchestrating all this. She's riding with him, but they want to paint it like I said, the boyfriend pimp. Well, he's riding with her because she's on the driver's seat. She's driving this powerful Corvette, 1978, a highly dressed Corvette, body kit and everything. That is damn near as powerful as a Cadillac. But back then, it wasn't brothers really riding Corvettes like that. Brothers was riding Cadillacs, I would say Benzes, but Benzes were kind of ugly back then. But they were riding powerful tools, Excaliburs and things like that, not Corvettes. So, like I said, you want to, if any of you want to put in, because sometimes they try to hate. You gotta sometimes spell out your number, because if you try to put the number in, it'll block it where I can't see it. Like, I don't put the number up, so you gotta spell some of the. So if it's 505 or something like that, put in, spell out 5 and then 0, and then put in some numbers so it could get through. But yeah, it's just, I highly recommend people, because you always hear people, oh, I watched the Mac, or I watched Superfly, or I don't watch all these other type of movies. Watch Corvette Summer. They're telling a story of someone that's kind of green to the game. Essentially, that's what it is. Two green people. And it's in plain sight. Matter of fact, like I said, when I was coming up when I was a kid in late 70s, early 80s, this used to come on TV. I don't even think they're putting this movie on TV right now. It's like, it's old information, but it's enough where people could grasp where they're coming from with it. That's why they hide it. Okay, it's a Corvette. They don't think anything because it's a Corvette. At that time, it's not a Cadillac. We'll pick two, Caucasian people to play this part. We're not really seeing that. We're seeing, brothers and other races getting down with, this thing that we call the gang, this particular gang. Like I said, she had a shaggin' wagon. Her wagon was dressed, like I said, it had a water bed in it. It was dressed like a crib in the inside. It was decked out. So essentially, she could be grabbing tricks and having them right up in the van instead of going to hotels or anything like that. So that's why she had a dressed up van like that. Matter of fact, she had it all custom, to whatever her little saying was on the side, and little sunroofs in the back and all that stuff. So it was just giving a different type of perspective, you know. Hopefully I covered that particular movie, even though I done told you a lot of the parts. When you watch it, you got to see it with those eyes. You can't see it how they try to, show all these, when they're cruising, showing hot rods and things like that. You got to see it for the message that they're trying to hide within it, It's always another message within a movie. That's why it's called duality. It's like, okay, we're running this one cartoon message, but really it's an underlying message running throughout this movie. And if you can grasp it, then you get to pull out the information that they're trying to, lay down to the public. Because essentially, like I said, their champion boyfriend, we don't want the men going hard. That's why we got him on the passenger side. Even though he's driving and everything, your mind is always fixed on the driver's side is the left side, not the right hand side. That's the side that, what they I don't want to say, and I don't want to get flagged, but that's the side designated for females, especially when it comes to a powerful car like that. That'd be like, okay, we're gonna marry and put if it was a dressed up the Superfly Cadillac or the white Cadillac that Goldie had in the Mac. If Goldie was on the passenger side with one of his hoes driving it, it would have had a different effect. Now it's different like in the movie when his partner's driving it, but if like one of his hoes was driving it and Goldie's on the passenger side and he's not operating a powerful machine, people would have took that a different kind of way. So, like, being said, okay, we got these, Caucasian people, and they're driving a Corvette, and he's on the passenger side, even though we got the steering wheel. So essentially, that's saying he's really in control, but he's playing essentially the bitch role on the passenger side. Why it seems like she's the one in power. That's how I look at it. When you think about it, if it was reversed and there's a brother powering, a powerful Cadillac and she's on the passenger side, it doesn't mean she's that much more lesser. She's the one that, helped bring this thing together, him having a powerful Cadillac and making moves like he's making. And, and him being a powerful, brother behind the wheel of some powerful machinery, it would go down like that. We don't want to set that type of tone. So we'll do it all totally reverse. We'll have her on an assumed driver's side when really Mark Hamill is on the passenger side that's really green, not knowing how because she's the one that was moving in the game. She was the one knowing how to make certain moves. He was just kind of stuck on, oh, I just want to find my car and that's it. And I just work at the gas station. And he was kind of stuck in that kind of mindset. Which in other, like, think about Superfly. Ron O'Neal's like, yeah, I done made moves and done got money like this, but I'm trying to do something different. Even though Ron O'Neal or Priest was a dope man, a dope boy in the movie, he still was making power moves. He had the Caucasian on the one side of town, and he had the the one of his own on the other side of town. But the one of his own was the one that helped him devise the plan to, okay, yeah, baby, I'm gonna get this much money. I'm getting out the game. I'm gonna have you, dressing like, old bag lady when you hit the elevator. I'm gonna, do the football pass off to you for all the revenue. Because they're gonna come and swoop me up, and I know they're coming because these is them dudes that took out, the old school that put me on, Scatter. So, and far as I'm glad the people who if you like this particular live stream, I know I could have did it more professional and threw up pictures of certain scenes I'm talking about like this, but I figured I'd try a live stream and hopefully have someone that may want to chime in. If not, that's cool too. But I'm glad the people that choose to hit that thumbs up. Like I said, on my side, it's been spin wheeling the whole time, but I'm looking on one of my other devices and it's showing that that everything is copacetic. So I don't know. Maybe it's just this particular device I'm live streaming off of. It doesn't want me to think that y'all's out here actually listening. But if anyone has any particular questions on this uh you know movie that I'm talking about, like I said, it's called Corvette Summer, not the Corvette Summer, Corvette Summer. Type in Corvette Summer. Maybe they have copies on Amazon. Maybe they have it available on Amazon Prime where you could watch it. But how I got a hard copy because I tried to live stream it and was coming in and out, And I figured, hey, I need a hard copy of this. So, because like I said, coming up as a kid, this used to come on all the time on regular TV. They edited it like crazy, but it came on. But they ain't trying to have that information where people could be up on stuff readily available. But matter of fact, I did talk about this movie on other particular live streams that I wanted to do a review or an analysis of this particular, you know, movie, and I guess I accomplished it. We've been on 35 minutes. I guess I summed up the movie in 35 minutes for you. Like I said, if anybody wants to, chime in, come in, speak your piece in a particular chat room, you could do that too. I figure I go solo because a lot of people I know they either done forgot this movie or they're not as versed in it and thinking about how breaking down how I seen it. Like I said, when you first see it, you're seeing like, why are you putting a steering wheel on this side? But you think, oh, it'll just be cool, the steering wheel on this side in a Corvette, that'll make it look cool. But essentially, it's a different meaning why they put that steering wheel on the passenger side, which I done covered already. Yep, most definitely. Kudra TV, he's driving, but she's the mastermind. Exactly, and that's totally reversed because if it was a brother, he's the mastermind, and she's the one up to bat in the game. He's sending her to bat. It's time to go to bat. You got to bat. You got to get on base. When in reverse, he's essentially the cab driver. Okay, we got to go here. Okay, this is the stop you need to go to. Oh, how long you gonna be? He's a taxi man. He got the flag up. He's only getting paid whatever she say she's gonna give him. And you get that feel through it. And like I said, when you watch this movie, it's kind of cool because it's back in '78. Probably figured they filmed it in '77. So when you see Vegas in '77, you're seeing it's totally different. Like you see how they'll show shots of the MGM and they'll show circus still kind of look the same, but everything else is totally different. So it's like it's like you're transported back to the time in the '70s when things were really popping and wasn't really going too bad for people that was participating within this life. So I highly recommend you seeing that. Matter of fact, if you got to get off this particular live stream and go to Amazon Prime, if you got Amazon Prime or eBay to order it. It's worth your money to watch it. And don't watch it for the cartoony aspect, because if you watch it for that cartoony aspect, you're not. This is all gonna go over your head. Like, man, this is a cartoony movie. No, they got a hidden message in it. If anybody ever participated in life and knows something about it, you're gonna be like, okay, yeah, I'm resonating with the things I done lay down in this particular live stream that when it comes to that particular movie. It's a tricked out Corvette. Matter of fact, I ain't seen the Corvette from that period of the '70s look like that. At the time, Corvettes had round headlights. This had fixed square lights. It had a full plate full plate tail light that says Stingray on the back with side pipes on it. It had a tricked out uh, air round hood on it. The big fat gold flakes all throughout the paint, candy apple red with gold flakes. And the thing is, and that's another thing in the movie I forgot. Once they got the car, once they took it, they repainted it. So they flipped the color. So instead of it being uh candy apple red with gold flakes, it's like they painted it gold with like red accent flakes through it. So they flipped the whole script. But soon as he got it back to the school, he flipped it back. He resprayed it back the color he wanted it to be. So essentially, when they took it and it was in the town of Vegas, it was a totally different color. It was all gold with essentially red flakes in it. versus being candy apple red with gold flakes when he had it. And that's essentially just showing how, different people have different levels to, okay, this is my tricked out car. I want my car tricked like this. But they get a hold of your car, or what you working with, and feel, oh, I need to flip it like this because it's gonna catch this type of attention instead of whatever type. Because essentially, they didn't, since it was a stolen car, they wanted to look totally opposite of the car that was on the hot list. So we're gonna paint our, we got it. We're gonna paint it gold, and it's gonna be totally different than the one they're looking for out in California. And you figure back then it wasn't computers like they got now where they could easily track something like that. It was kind of stone age when it came to that work, because essentially they keep reiterating when they're talking with the police when they first found out it got stolen. Oh, it's probably going to be all cut up. They're going to take the wheels. They're giving all this discouragement for him not to, try to pursue this. That car's, been gone, and they're putting all this fear tactics in them. And essentially, that's essentially, how people have people from your town, putting, no, you're not going to be able to do this because this, he wasn't listening to none of that. It's like something inside of him said, I got to go do this. Even though it wasn't saying he's going to be a pimp or anything like that. I got to find this car. This car is, so top of the line, so unique, unlike no other. I got to go get this joint. And that's where he made his pilgrimage to Las Vegas. And that's where he ended up bumping into somebody he didn't even think he was going to bump into, because essentially he had her at the end. you know. It's like she's coming along with me, even though it ain't the life that we pursued in that particular town. I met her in this town, and now we done been through these, little adventures that they done had set forth for us to have. That's how kind of life works. You're in the right spot at the right particular time. That's how it's not. People are like, oh, it's a coincidence. No, this is how it was supposed to be. Even if it's negative, this is how it's supposed to be. I met her. She was good people. Matter of fact, she might have been fucked up for a minute. Or he might have been fucked up for a minute. But we worked around that shit. And she was passing the test. Everything that was set before us. She was passing with flying colors. And at the end, me and hers winning at the end, whatever we may do, even if it ain't this particular life or situation we came across at meeting. Coming out of it together, we a winning team. We Bonnie and Clyde in it. That's another movie. A lot of people say Bonnie and Clyde. Watch that old movie too, Bonnie and Clyde. Even though it's based on real true events, watch the actual movie of Bonnie and Clyde. That's another good one, because at the end, whew, they get served. I mean, we know in real life they did get served, but when you watch that movie, it's like they're going along so smooth. You think, oh yeah, they about to get out of this, and both of them, like both sides of the street, they Tommy them. The whole car is Swiss cheese, because they was going town to town robbing all these banks, and essentially they got their issues. Like, we can't stop. It's like they picked up the habit. Like, we can't stop this. We're gonna keep going. It's like you didn't know when to stop, and that's when they met that treacherous end. So I mean, there's all kind of stories and parables that you can add to your life, but you got to pull from it, not in the way that they're trying to steer it. This portion, this may kind of resonate more with me. Not all that. Like, you got to admit all the other parts that don't make sense. Like, okay, all this cartoony stuff, I'm admitting all that. All this, him being on the passenger side, and that's cool. No, that ain't cool. Of no powerful whip. No, that ain't cool. That ain't cool to, basically be the taxi cab driver. That ain't cool. But essentially, that, when you think about it, that was what, 41 years ago. So with that saying, being 41 years ago, that's essentially what's going on now. You know, it's like it's saying brothers aren't in the driving seat; they're on the passenger side seat. You know, That's what really why you should watch it. You like, this is saying brothers is on the passenger side seat, and the women is the ones that's driving everything. You know, so it's a different day. Even though it's a different day, they kind of gave you the what's the word I'm looking for? The script of what was to come 41 years later, if you really think about it like that. I don't know if y'all just been kicked back and like, oh, we just listen to Reek just break down his interpretation of this movie Corvette Summer, or y'all not able to send out the messages or what. But I'm glad that the people that did chime in. Hopefully, like I said, get with the Amazon Prime, see if it's on there, because I know a lot of times a lot of them older movies don't be on there. Matter of fact, I found it on Fire Stick. It was on there, but it wouldn't play for me. It played a little bit and then stopped. So that's why I say, if you actually want to see this movie, you know, go to eBay or go where they actually still sell some DVDs and purchase it. I doubt you'll see it in any Best Buy or anything like that. But go ahead and order and watch it. Watch it from that perspective that I done spoke on in this particular live stream. But if nobody has anything to add or say, I might end it, because I just wanted to kind of go into what this particular movie is about, and a lot of people haven't watched it, and really know about it. Like I said, they put that cartoony spill on it where you like, oh, Corvette Summer is just about a Corvette. It ain't even just about a Corvette. It's about this dude making tracks to Vegas, and this female already making tracks to Vegas, and they meet, and then they're facing on the issues that together. It's on how they're gonna face these obstacles that's facing them. That's what people need to pull out of it. You know, but also you don't need to adopt that. You know, the idea of what they're pushing right here. Like I'm the taxi cab driver, because they show it back then. They show it. You think about it. Real players back then, they see that movie like, man, this will never happen. But then you think about it 41 years later, like, man, that's just happening right now. So they was right when they wrote this. Whoever wrote that script, like, yeah, okay, and we're gonna have him. He's gonna be so green, and he's not even gonna be seeing, what moves she can actually make, and how they can actually piggyback into some more money. He's gonna be so green, because that's how they wrote it. Like, he was oblivious to everything that she was doing, right off, and it's like, yeah, he was kind of seeming like he was with it, but deep down in heart, he wasn't. He's like, I'm the car builder. That's all I am. Well, I'll do a little bit what she's saying, but essentially, I'm just the car builder. I just built this car. It's just essentially now, some brothers like, man, I just want some 24s on my whatever I got, my charger or whatever. I just want this. I just want that. I don't want, you know, the whole lifestyle, what entails with, this person that's, trying to get me bread, or who's really being on my side. It's like they want multiple robots. Okay, 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 no, okay, no. Instead of, okay, we could do this, we could get with this. I think, we'll be better if we do that. They don't want them people that's, actually, list they're taking some input, but you also still wearing the pants and like, okay, yeah, we need to do this. No, we don't need to do that. Yeah, I'm glad you put me up on game on this, but we still gonna do this. Oh, it got to be my way. They don't want that. They want the multiple passenger side driver, shuffling, Miss Daisy off to the next whatever appointment she has. They want them types. Don't be that type. But then again, if you ain't that type, I guess those types are beneficial too. Everybody can't be be that type. But to me, the way the world's going now, they want everybody to be that type. They don't want just a couple people or so many dozen. They want everybody to be like that. And if you're not like that, we're gonna make it so hard for you where you're just gonna have to face complications. all the time. But that's why I say watch this particular movie. You're gonna get a different aspect of the rah rah rah. You see certain movies like rah rah, and think about it. If you think about that's I'll say the theatrical version because that was based on real life events, but the theatrical version is kind of bad when you think about it. Let me see. Okay, Pyros, in all actuality, it shows how you can get caught up with no knowledge of the game and streets life in general. Most definitely, it's like you're just making moves. It's like think about it. Essentially, it's like playing checkers. You're okay. I'm taking pieces. Okay, yeah, you're taking pieces, but you you're not. It's no strategy behind that. You can keep taking pieces all the way to the end. Versus like when you're playing chess, you actually got to strategize to win this game because if you make the wrong moves, the game can end early. A lot of people don't even understand that. They think like checkers, like, oh, I just keep taking pieces and stuff, and whoever gets the most pieces, it ain't whoever gets the most pieces. It's who is able to strategize to win. You want to win. You don't want to. Oh, well, I took all your pawns and your bishop. So what? I got your queen. I got your queen, and I got you in a position where none of those other pieces can make moves because basically I got the crosshairs on you. You're dead. Checkmate. It ain't even no check. It's checkmate. Checkmate meaning the game's over with. Usually, if you're a chess player and you play somebody and you break them down in so many moves like that, usually people get highly heated about that because it's like, man, how'd you whoop me like that? Versus checkers, this is like almost like a little kid's game, like a tic tac toe or it's this simple. It's a simple ass game, but some people play certain positions like that, like it's checkers, and that's why they lose. You know. They think they can play chess like it's checkers, and it's totally different game. It's a game of strategy. It's a game you can learn you can know for years and still like, man, how did I still get beat? I don't know known about chess since I was probably like 10, 11. And I felt I played good maybe when I was 15, 16. I was playing real good. But I mean, even play that game, you're like, man, how'd you put that move down? Or because essentially to me with chess, depending on how skilled you think the person is, you move certain ways. Like especially if you haven't seen them play before, like, oh, this person I did, and so essentially it's about they weren't making moves that were right. You could when you play them, you could run all over them. But then again, some people send decoys out. Okay, I'll pretend like I'm like this, but really I'm a monster at this. So you just seen the I play this game. Okay, I missed that last one. It said funny movie. It's a movie. We had to disconnect. I'm back. But yeah, highly recommend it. Glad people that are in here, voice their opinions. I'm glad that the people got the notifications because a lot of times when I've been sending out, or not sending out, putting up live streams, they've been mysteriously having technical difficulties. But hey, matter of fact, the people that come in on replay, because it's gonna go up on a replay, hopefully y'all take time to search it out and get the movie. Okay, you said it's funny because I met girls who, after picking up a little game from a P, will turn and say, okay, now I have a good idea how to do this, and I'll just have somebody ride along, not knowing better. Yes, and think about it, they do that now. Matter of fact, I want to do something kind of speaking on what you're talking about because I've been seeing something that I don't think a lot of people are up on. And instead of Facebook well, I won't say Instagram because, Instagram, it can be, females doing this on Instagram, but it's done turn more to social media platforms. And when I say that, because I know for a fact on Twitter, It's a lot of, ladies of the evening, of the night, that have pages, and they post what states they'll be in, and you get at them through their cash apps, or all their little different accounts that you could hit. So essentially, you're paying their people are paying through these cash applications, even if it's Apple Pay or whatever it may be. You're paying through that. So once you meet up, it's like ain't no cash exchange. So it's like totally cutting out the actual currency transaction, because y'all done had some type of agreement way beforehand. You done flew the person out, or you knew they were in this town. Not even so much you flew them out. You knew these were the dates they were appearing in these particular towns. So I actually have someone that does this, and I need to interview them so they can get a more better breakdown of this. Because to me, this is something that hasn't been touched on. And I done seen a whole bunch of pages where it's different females moving like this. They ain't got no man. They just move. Okay, I'll be in DC from this time to this time. I'll be in St. Louis, Missouri, between this time and this time. Get at me at this. This is my social media platform. This is how you reach me. Hit me with the DM. And, we'll iron out the things for that situation later. Yep, cutting out. That exactly. It's like it's all reformulated. This is a lot of. It's totally different. Like I said, I'm a different aspect of this from a female, because these are females. They making major moves. They getting major dough without having someone, as tradition has spoken. A gentleman of leisure. Have any cuts of that. Essentially, you can say she's a businesswoman. She's making business moves, because she don't have to have someone being the director. Now that's how they seem like they're feeling. That's how I get from seeing them particular pages like that. You said not knowing the rules and regulations to any game, you setting yourself up for failure. I look at it like this. I hear what you're saying, Kudre, but like I said, as soon as I have this person in, because like I said, it's not like I just seen one page like this. It's not like this is something different. This is not like how Backpage was or anything like this. These is women that are flying out to maybe Dubai, maybe somewhere in London, maybe in Hong Kong. They're flying and doing dates. It's like when I say dates, I'm saying they're in here from, say, we're June 16th to June 21st. Them dates, like they're appearing in those particular towns for that amount of time. So whoever's coming across their social media platforms that's within those particular towns, they're arranging, however they're arranging with whoever they're arranging, and they're ironing out whatever, financial financial means is ironed out. So that part's already taken care of. So essentially, it's okay. I'm here. Okay, we already done went over whatever we went over, and then they're flying out to the next spot they said they're appearing. So it's like they got this all lined up. It's just how do they go about this? Because it's a network. Because what I done seen, they post people that's doing the same thing on their pages. So it's like, okay, this person got 10,000 subscribers on whatever. This other person got 100,000. We all networking. It's essentially a secret cabal. We all networking, and she gonna post me on her page. It might be someone on her page that like me, and it might be someone on my page that like her. But she got 10,000. I'm over here working with 502 or something like that. You never know. So it's a network that done transcended, you know, some Backpage and some Craigslist. You know, they got professional pictures up here. It's not like it's oh girl, hold my camera phone. It ain't nothing like that. It's like professional photographer photo shoots. You know, nice backdrops. You know, or wherever they're appearing. Maybe in Hawaii, they done hired a photographer out there and did some professional video clip of them. So it's like, oh look, I'm gonna be in your town. You know, it's damn near like how a video shoot would be. So it's a whole nother level that hasn't been touched. And see, the thing is, me saying that, and I don't got them lined up, it might be someone else that, you know, does interviewing like I do, might, you know, be privy to pick. And then I'm not talking, these ain't no strippers. They ain't, oh, I'm going to the strip club, I'm paying. This ain't that. This is totally something different. It's like the pimping and horn from back in the day, but it's not. It's just the horn without the pimping. But now it's space age with it. And they're all networking together. So you think about it, it's like a big old cabal of renegades. When you think of it, you could think about it like that. They're all renegades, but they're all networking together, you know. You might catch them in the airport somewhere or something. You're like, man, she look like she could be this. Well, you never know. She could be that. But like I said, as soon as I get them lined up, I'll post it up and we can speak on it. Or, you know, not we can speak on it. I'll chop it up with them. And then, you know, hopefully y'all throw up some questions and comments, because I'll actually probably make a video of that. That won't be a live stream. That'll be a video. And then from whatever comments come in, then if I have them on again, I could throw those, you know, particular whatever questions you feel, oh, Rick, you didn't cover this. You know, you should have asked them that. But damn near, I'm going to be trying to ask them everything because, you know, this is something that I think is totally different. It's not like I said, it's not like Backpage or any of them other arrows or any of them other type of sites or things like that. This is something totally different. But I'll say it like this: that doesn't mean they don't have, you know, different dating sites that they're posted up on. But how I see it is on, you know, Twitter, and it's probably on Instagram, but it's set up more professional. It's not amateurish. This is not amateur. It's totally, it comes off real classy. It comes off like it's like some modeling type stuff, but it's not. We know what it is when we see it. So I could screenshot the pictures and post all that up, but I ain't gonna do it like that. I would rather talk to someone that's willing to talk about it, and then, you know, we could go from there on it. As far as this particular movie, Corvette Summer, hey, you done heard the people that done seen, the people that commented on this particular movie is worth getting. Like I said, another one. I don't think I spoke on it. The Hit. I kind of touched on the movie Hit with Richard Pryor and Billy D. Williams. That one was good too. But right now, the movie Corvette Summer. That's what I touched on. We've been on it. So I'm glad that y'all chimed in. If you got anything else to add to the conversation, go ahead and add your comment. If not, like I said, you know, I'm glad now that, you know, even though I may not get comments afterwards, I'm glad that, you know, YouTube got it where the comments that were in the chat room, when it hits the replay, they'll pop up right at the right time for, you know, depending on what I was talking about, y'all, your comments will pop up and then people can get a better understanding of whatever we're talking about within this particular live stream, you know, when it's no longer live, you know. Like I said, on my channel, I try to give perspectives that haven't been touched. I don't want to run no con game on nobody. Matter of fact, that's why my channel's called Too Cool to Con, because we ain't going for that con shit. And what's so crazy, you know, people quick to say, oh, squares and lames and all that shit, but it seems like motherfuckers always want to say that when you bust them on that 3-car Molly shit. They, you know, man, why you telling all the 3-car Molly? Because you ain't gonna run no game on me. You ain't gonna run no game on none of my people. So yeah, I'm exposing that bullshit. And a lot of people don't like that. You know, nobody like to have con right on. Everybody once upon a time done have some kind of con right on. That's why it's too cool to con, because once you peep the con, like, you can't run that shit on me again. You may try to run something else, but I'm always gonna be kind of mindful about the shit that you trying to run on me, you know, for good game. Matter of fact, like I said, you talk to someone long enough, you get where they're coming from, you know, especially when it's laced with bullshit, you know. They don't want to let you get no word, say this, but now you're talking in circles. Oh no, you're just not understanding. No, motherfucker. I know when someone's talking in circles. You keep talking so the person can't get in that vital point that expose that shit that you. Because marrying it with, oh, you're square, you just don't understand. If I done made moves and done this shit similar, you know, even done got spanked from the shit. Like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to cross nobody, because I know what happens when you cross people. So why would I want to take that route? But I know when motherfuckers trying to run that shit, I advise anybody, pay attention to words. You got to pay attention to how people talk. You know, what words they use, what words they leave out, what they won't address when someone asks them a question. You know, I don't shy away from nothing. If I don't know, I'm gonna say I don't know. I'm not gonna be up there, well, sugarcoat it with something else, or start getting mad because, you know, the shit, or not the shit, but the information you're coming with is, you know, so potent, and I can't answer it. No, I don't know, or I do know, but I ain't gonna try to get the throw off. Oh, I gotta get you off here because, you know, you ain't talking about the right thing. Essentially, what they're saying in so many words, you're exposing my weakness. So now I gotta kind of block you, or, you know, say some other shit, because, you know, what I'm saying is getting exposed for the bullshit that it is. Okay, you said right. It's really going down on a snap like that. It's the new back page, but it's almost like the early days of the internet with the banner ads, etc., where you go to pages and it's nothing but banners to sites. Most definitely, because I see that all the time. Like, okay, if you want, I mean, they done got it broke down on prices on that particular stuff too. If you want, so many my premium snaps and all this, it's Twitter. You know, Twitter runs a little different. You know, because I guess you get in the DMs on Twitter and people can send you videos, and then they monetize that, and essentially they be like, hit my Vimo, or hit my Cash App, or hit my Apple Pay or PayPal, or whatever means. Matter of fact, and there's a new one. Well, it's not so much new, but, you know, you have a Patreon and you can make videos over there, and that's like a subscription. So that'd be like having Netflix or something like that. You pay a whatever subscription, and you get whatever of whatever you watching, or whatever uncut that ain't available on these other platforms or whatever. So there's so many different avenues now, essentially, to cut certain people out of, you know, doing these things that, you know, kind of was showed in this movie back in the day. You know, especially how they were making movies. Because, like I said, this movie's back in. You're going to Las Vegas by yourself and things like that. You know, that's how they downplayed in the movie. That's why I say, I mean, much as I done talked about it, hopefully, you know, you get to see it on Prime, if they're offering it up where you can actually stream it, or add it to your catalog. Matter of fact, that's another thing I like to go into. I'll part out with this, because I think I want to speak on this on a whole other thing. You know, Apple's getting rid of, you know, the iTunes store. You know, a lot of people, they think it's cool. Like, oh, I stream all my music, but with the streaming music tip, I'd rather own my music. You know, own, even if it's just a song. I'd rather own that, because you figure, you know, without having my about this particular stuff about streaming, it started doing the spin wheeling. So it must be mean something in what I'm talking about must not want to get across. But what I'm saying is, hopefully it doesn't say reconnect. If you stream, they make it sound good. Okay, you get to hear unlimited music, but you got to pay that that bill every month 20, you got to pay it 12 months a year, and it starts over when the new year comes. So it's always money coming out of your pocket versus, okay, I'll buy this song or I'll buy this album at that one time. Because you know it ain't that many good albums coming out at the same time where you're like, okay, I got to spend all this money. Because you know they don't split up 99 cents or $1.29 or whatever they do for the prices on these songs. I'd rather spend like that versus, okay, you got to pay $10 this month, $10 next month, $10, and it constantly keeps coming out. And then with streaming, you got to have a cellular connection. It ain't like you're you're downloading that particular song to your device. No, it's streamed to it. So that means that cell connection, wherever you may be, is tracking you. So even if you're like, okay, you get to doing some dumb stuff, and you take your phone or you got a tablet that got a Wi-Fi connection, it's telling where you at. That's essentially your music is tracking you. Even if you didn't watch your cell phone or talking on it, your music is tracking you. Okay, he played this song over on the west side at this particular time. The song was like 3 minutes. It was over here for this particular time. Versus if you know you done downloaded the music and it's on like, that's probably why the reason why they stopped making the iPod Classics, because you figured them didn't have no Wi-Fi connection on there. You have all your music on there, and it ain't tracking. It ain't running off no cellular or no data. Ain't no money coming out your pocket once a month like a public utility, like you paying for electricity or gas or something like that. You got to think about it like that. But you know, that's a topic for another day. I'm glad that y'all took time to listen to this particular live stream slash movie review about Corvette Summer. Hopefully y'all get put up on it. Hey, you come back, but hey, Rick, I checked that out. I liked it. Or, you know, I peeped this in, or you done seen something in it that I didn't know about it. You know, hey, come back with your comments on what you think if you actually go out